Aviation this week will be back with News Flash. Do join us again.
Newsflash takes off with a call by the Air Transport Senior Staff Association of Nigeria asking the federal government to rethink its stand on the proposed privatization of the 4 major terminals in the country. It will be recalled that the Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, had announced at an aviation forum early in the year that the 4 terminals needed better upgrade and management, and hence the need to give it to private hands. The union says staff liabilities hanging around the neck of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria totals about 81 billion naira.
The federal government, through the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, is owing the workers of FAN over 64 billion naira as the actual valuation, as if they decide to leave 84 billion naira as at 2012. You can imagine if you update it now, the figures, of course, will not only be frightening, but will show that the workers also have the capacity to buy those airports. And we are saying that if the government insists, we have the ability to buy the airports, and the workers are interested in buying those airports with their liabilities. You can't take away the liability, you take away the access, and leave the liabilities.
Now to the foreign scene. This time, Air France has warned that some of its flights are expected to be cancelled later this week due to a 7-day strike of some cabin crew members. The French airline says it will maintain most of its long-distance flights. It predicts more than 90% of such flights will run as scheduled on Wednesday, the first day of the strike. It says flights to and from Europe and domestic flights will face more cancellations. 2 unions have called for Air France cabin crew members to go on strike from July the 27th to August the 2nd to protest against further decreases in the number of crew members and to call for better working conditions. Air France flights operated by other companies, including KLM and Delta, are not affected by the strike. The first round-the-world solar power flight has been completed after the Solar Impulse aircraft touched down in Abu Dhabi. Bertrand Piccard piloted the plane for a final time, steering it safely from the Egyptian capital Cairo to the UAE. He's been taking turns at the controls with Swiss compatriot Andrew Buschberg, with a mission aiming to promote renewable energy. It brings to an end a voyage that began in Abu Dhabi on the 9th of March last year.
We have flown one after the other in the cockpit with André, 40,000 kilometers without fuel. And now the demonstration is done. It means that the rest of the world has to take it further, has to use these technologies. We have to stop listening to people who are afraid of changes their way of thinking. Solutions exist, they are profitable.
The 17-stage journey covered some 42,000 kilometers taken in 4 continents, 3 seas and 2 oceans. The longest leg, an 8,924-kilometer flight from Nagoya in Japan to Hawaii in the US, lasted nearly 118 hours and saw Mr. Buschberg break the absolute world record for the longest uninterrupted solo flight. Mr. Piccard and Mr. Buschberg have been working on the Solar Impulse project for more than a decade. The pair had hoped to complete the challenge last year, but progress was not quite swift enough to get the best of the weather in the Northern Hemisphere's summer. And finally in China, where the country has completed production of the world's largest amphibious aircraft after 7 years of work, which it plans to use to perform marine rescue missions and fight forest fires. The AG-600, which is about the size of a Boeing 737 and was developed by state aircraft maker Aviation Industry Corporation of China, rolled off a production line in the southern city of Zhuhai. Pacific Deputy General Manager Guang Rugang said the plane was the latest breakthrough in China's aviation industry. A plan for the development and production of the AG600 received government approval in 2009. The aircraft has a maximum flight range of 4,500 kilometers and can collect 12 tons of water in 20 seconds. It has a maximum takeoff weight of 53.5 tons. China has been ramping up research into advanced new military equipment, including submarines, aircraft carriers, and anti-satellite missiles. In June, it put into service a new domestically developed large transport aircraft.
This is where we call it a day, and do remember to keep in touch with us via our feedback platform. I'm Bukola Joe Oketumbi.